MOT International is one of many commercial galleries in the UK, each working in various ways to sell work to private buyers or public collections. Before trying to contact a gallery, it's important to fully research which gallery suits your practice.
So the gallery started in 2002 as an artist-run space and came out of my own curating and running artist exhibitions in warehouses through the late 90s. And it ran for an artist-run space for about 3 years, and then I took it completely over and ran it as a kind of a non-for-profit exhibition space, inviting curators and myself curating, working with established and non-established artists. And then in 2006 I incorporated as a gallery, and it became a commercial business, so therefore it started to represent artists and made its money through selling their work. I mean, in terms of approaching us, people do all the time. Mostly we can't deal with that backlog of administration, so generally they don't get answered if they're just come out of the blue. But if people come and establish a line of communication with us, and they maybe visit or they get to know the gallery, they may get to know one of the curators who work here, or they may have friends who are curators who would recommend them to the gallery, or maybe from another artist that is working with the gallery or the art world is a small world, so we'd always defer to colleagues, and if someone mentions an interesting artist, we always look at it. The artworks that we're interested in are obviously what we would say would be the most interesting contemporary art of now and of art history. I don't limit the gallery to one discipline, but I would say we represent some really interesting and also maybe difficult practices of performance, like Callie Spooner or Katrina Palmer. We back that historically through representing like the pioneers of performance like Ulay, Neil Yauta, and also people like Dennis Oppenheim, who's exhibiting at the moment. So it's about building the history and supporting and promoting emerging practices and really building up. We had 2 Turner Prize winners in a row. And both artists have been working with the gallery for a number of years. We were the first gallery of those artists. So we put a lot of work into how we build an artist's career through the program, through inviting artists that show that history, show that connection, and build a program that is cohesive.
How does the gallery work with artists represented?
We obviously create an economy for their work, so we sell their work through art fairs, through the gallery program. We build up collections for them. We mainly deal with collections that are public and also private foundations, and that builds their career. It builds the knowledge of their work. We show their work internationally at major art fairs, and our team here are constantly administrating their careers. So they're filling out applications for funding, helping them do that. They're helping curators find out about their work by sending them information. We build portfolios of all their work, and we make their practices as accessible as possible to professionals in the art world. We decide, obviously, based on particular art fairs. We strategize about what would work in certain contexts. Different countries have different interests, different bodies of collectors, different institutions, and we may be choosing to highlight one particular artist and solo presentations if we're really pushing that person. We did really push Laure Prevost, for instance, and Elizabeth Price individually. When we realised there was a growing interest in their work, we took that as a sign to make a push ourselves, and so we pushed a lot of funding and money into promoting their work at particular fairs like Frieze and this year Basel for Laure Prevost. We'll be doing Unlimited and also Feature. So in Unlimited we will show the whole Turner Prize installation, which is a huge undertaking. We'll be literally building a room the size of the Tate gallery that she showed in, the actual room in that space. It would actually be of around 50 square meters, and we have to build all the walls, have them painted, have them carpeted, have the installation presented, have all the AV set up, and it will be several, a lot of money to do that. So, when there's a right time, we push that artist.
How does the gallery work with curators?
We have a tradition in the gallery and a history of inviting curators, people who've gone on to great things, and now are directors of museums, have made exhibitions at MOT in the past, and I continue to support that. I also still lecture very occasionally at Goldsmiths on the curating course, so I still have an interest in young curators, and a number of our staff come from that course. Over the years have done placements here and then have become members of the staff and curated exhibitions in our project space, in the gallery, in Brussels. So we're constantly looking and supporting not both artists but also curators.
How do you work with an artist on an ongoing basis?
I've just come back from visiting Ulaj in Slovenia and looking through his archive, spending time with all the historic works. It's a constant, constantly educating myself about their practice, keeping up to date with their new work, keeping up to date with if it's an artist as historically important as Ulaj, it's learning all the intricate details of the past as well, and talking with them about how we can best serve that history, or if it's a younger artist, to what we can do next to try and promote their work. It maybe means that we are more interested in working with more difficult commercial practices, and I find it quite a challenge and I enjoy the challenge of trying to find a way to make a market for such practices, rather than making a gallery a more obvious commercial success in that way. And that's been rewarding, I think. I think doing that has given us our own path to follow, which is interesting. Both keeps you excited and fresh, and also allows us to have such wonderful artists that are doing such wonderful things.
What is the relationship between the gallery and an artist's success?
The success of the artist is reflected in the gallery, and vice versa. So as they build and grow, it helps us, and it also helps us in people recognising their work, for instance. The publicity machine that goes behind something like the Turner Prize overnight can obviously bring to the attention of many, many more people an artist's work. And of course that does help with sales. It helps with exhibitions in museums. So it's been a wonderful thing to have 2 in a row, which is pretty unheard of, I think.
How does the gallery sell work on behalf of the artist?
But we're obviously we are trying to build the artist's career, so we're trying to sell the work to the best collections. I mean, primarily institutional, especially if the artist is particularly trying to create a career through museum exhibitions. So we're trying to place works in very good collections, and that process is really what we're involved in, rather than the cut and thrust of commercial sales. We don't have a sales team, for instance, like some galleries. It's mainly it's done through negotiations involving myself, and then the backup support of the rest of the staff will provide the context, all the information a collection would need with which to make a decision. There's a lot of expenditure in terms of on a commercial gallery. There's art fairs which are hugely expensive, travelling is hugely expensive. We help produce artworks, that's incredibly expensive, and therefore it has to be backed up by sales. So there is we have to have a large drive towards that. But we modify that with obviously where we're placing these works. It's very important to the gallery that it's beneficial to both the artist and the gallery where these pieces go. But most good collectors are really active, and basically supporting the career of the artist as well. They want the artist to be successful in their institutional showing, so they're very happy to lend to museums. It's all part of the enjoyment of collecting is also seeing that work enjoyed by a public and a public audience. Yeah.